What category of federal firearms license do most gunsmiths apply for? Well, it depends on the reason you're getting your federal firearms license. If you just want to do gunsmithing and you're not going to be manufacturing firearms, then a regular Type 1 license will work just fine. In fact, I would say that's what most people end up with. Now, a Type 1 license is just a regular dealer's license. There is no special category just for gunsmiths. So the two most common licenses that gunsmiths get are a Type 1, which again is a regular dealer's license, or a Type 07, and that is a manufacturer's license. So why would you want one or the other? Well, you'd want the manufacturer's license if you're going to be actually creating firearms receivers or building firearms totally from scratch. And so get an 07, and that would allow you to do that. Now, when you get a 07 license, you are responsible for a little bit more reporting than you are with an 01. With an 07, you have to report on the guns that you manufacture every year. Even if you don't manufacture any at all, you still have to report your zero production. And that's part of the national record keeping. If you have a 01 license, all of your entry and exit of the firearms is simply by logging them in to your logbook, and then when the customer picks them up or when you ship them over to another dealer, whatever the case may be, then you log those guns out of the books. An 07 license, very similar, but it does give you the advantage of being able to manufacture. Now, what's manufacturing? Well, generally it's when you're creating a receiver from scratch. However, they've also determined manufacturing to be when you assemble a firearm for the purpose of selling it to a retail customer. So if you buy in a lot of AR-15 lower receivers and a bunch of parts kits and assemble them together and then put them on your gun rack and then sell them, ATF's going to say, hey, you are manufacturing. Why is that? Because there's an excise tax due on manufacturing. If you bought in a stripped receiver, no excise tax was paid on that. If you buy in a batch of parts, no excise tax was paid on that. But you put those together now and then sell it to a retail customer, you're going to have an excise tax of 11% to pay on that firearm. So one of the ways to handle this is to get the receivers in, sell them to the customer takes possession of the receiver after filling out a 4473, takes it home, and then possibly he buys some parts. And he takes those home, and then he brings it all in and says, hey, I'd like you to put this together for me. Well, that's gunsmithing. That's not manufacturing at that point. You didn't manufacture a complete firearm and then sell it to a customer. You sold him a strip receiver, you sold him some parts, he took full possession of them, then brought them back in and asked you to put them together. That's gunsmithing and customizing. If you were to build the guns, as I said, by getting the receivers, getting the parts, putting them together, putting them on the rack, selling them to an end user, that would be manufacturing, and you're going to pay the excise tax. If you have any questions on this, always feel free to contact ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, and you can find them at atf.gov.